Hello, listening audience, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. It is I, Whirlwind Gale, here again, playing He Who Funky Clock Bird Child, Lethy Beckford, and I am joined by my wonderful, amazing, fantastic best friend.
Hi, I'm RJ. And I'm not playing Asclepius this time, that was yesterday. I'm playing...
Yee, we're doing a double feature.
Yeah! I am playing Raphael Alejo.
Yee! Because these two are family and we need to have them talk.
Yep.
So, Hmm. So, God, it is basically still like the day after Hey Little Songbird happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that sure was a game that happened. Things sure did happen in that game. I'm sorry, my brain isn't screwed in right today.
Same.
We are just sitting here with no thought, head empty, only game. But it is kind of the morning after that. Or no, morning is a stretch. It's the day after that. We're like getting into afternoon now.
Mm-hmm.
And when Raph got up this morning, Lethy was not there. Which is weird, because she was there in bed when he fell asleep. But here we are. How's he doing?
What's your wisdom save? +4. Okay, that's a 19. He's not panicking.
Mm-hmm.
He does, immediately sit up and look around. See if he can find any clue as to where she's gone.
No. Because, unfortunately, she did just straight up get up thinking she was dreaming last night and just start walking around. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
This is the opposite of fine.
Uh, in fact, he probably wouldn't see her until later in that day when she had kind of solidly got a grip on the fact that, this is in fact real. Oops.
He has
Just,
probably been out
Your Honor,
looking for her.
Your Honor, I would like to plead oopsie daisies.
Your Honor, I would like to plead oopsie daisies. Good God. Okay.
that is her defense on this, is just, I would like to plead oopsie daisies, and also possibly insanity. My brain wasn't screwed in right. It's fine. But yeah, if he's been out looking for her, RJ, you're the master of Halloween Town. Where do you want to have this set?
I feel like Kara would notice that Lethy is not with it and try and keep her in and around the manor as best they could.
Mm-hmm. Well, Lethy's actually kind of got her head screwed on right now, but yeah, that's valid. It's still the day after all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm. And like, they came fucking busting down Kara's door. A man ran in carrying Lethy in his arms.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Halloween Town is worried about their crow.
Which is valid. So the question, I guess, is, would Kara try and direct Raph towards Lethe?
Yes. Definitely. 100%. Yes.
Cool beans. So, like I said, where do we want to say they kind of meet in the middle?
Honestly... Probably in the woods near to the manor. And the reason I say the woods and not the manor's garden itself is because the garden itself is full of fucking poisonous plants, and that's good for neither of these people. So,
No. So woods it is.
woods it is.
Yeah. Okay. So, should I roll perception or should you roll perception? Because one of us has stupid high perception and one of us has about average.
Yeah, one of us does have stupid eye perception, and I'd like to use it, so... 23.
Actually, you know what? I'm also gonna roll perception just for the fun of it.
Oh, whoa.
10!
23 versus 10!
Yeah, so you definitely see Lethe, who's just kind of wandering around, looking around the woods. She does not see you.
Yep. So he probably just calls out her name, and then jogs over.
That does get her attention, and she kind of blinks and says, "Oh, hello, Dad. Oh, shoot. Hello, Dad. Sorry, I left entirely without telling you where I was going last night. I'm sorry. In my defense, I thought I was asleep. Hi, I love you."
That's incredibly concerning. What?
I thought I was dreaming, and I just kind of got up and started walking around. I apologize.
What do you mean you thought you were dreaming?
Well, I woke up and I wasn't in the room that Matthias had me in, so I thought I was dreaming. Because, you know, that's been the case for a while now, is if I'm not there, then I'm asleep. But I am not asleep right now, probably. And she does kind of just reach up and pinch herself on the shoulder and just says, "Yep, nope, that hurt, not asleep."
Please don't do that again. Takes her hands in his. If you
Hi.
If you thought you were asleep, why didn't you wake me up?
Because you were sleeping and you need sleep.
You can wake me up at any time. I can catch up on sleep. I'd rather be here to help you.
And she does kind of hum at that. Just, she has thoughts on that subject, but she isn't sure how to articulate them, so she just kind of squeezes your hands.
He squeezes back. Uses the touch to with the echo.
The door does open, because honestly, at this point, mental connection is pretty much always open for him.
Hell yeah.
There is trust.
Sends over a concern, care, love. No specific message as such, just gentle waves of feeling.
And she kind of pauses for a minute before sending back just love, concern, and just basically the summary of why she didn't wake him up, because it's so much easier to communicate your reasoning when you're using emotions rather than words. Which basically her reasoning was, the last time I saw you, you were in the hospital. I was worried about you and I wanted to make sure you were getting rest.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Um, but he does still keeping a hold of her hands in one of his, kind of spread an arm, gesture at himself, show that he's fine now. He's all recovered.
And she does kind of nod at that, but still, there is still just the, it's basically a time jump. Someone who you last saw in the hospital where, you had been told that you weren't sure whether they were going to live or die, and is now walking around fine after you completely lost track of time for a couple months. Yeah, no, she's still concerned. And she just says, I just didn't want to wake you up. I wanted to make sure that you were getting the rest you needed, especially because it seemed like. I'll be honest, I completely lost track of what was happening yesterday, but it seemed like a lot was happening at once that was really not that great, and I wanted. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's alright. Thank you for caring about me so deeply. Allow me to return the favor.
Hmm.
Come on.
And she nods.
Let's go get some tea and maybe some biscuits. I'm kind of hungry.
That sounds nice. And she will kind of just follow after. Wait, has Raph ever been in town before?
He has not. He has no fucking idea where they're going. But they're by the manor, which means, logically thinking, they're probably by the town center. And the town center usually has a number of cafes and whatnot. Unfortunately for him, this is Halloween Town. It does not follow any kind of logic. So you can roll survival if you want. He is also rolling survival. See how turn.
Kamara, please be nice to us.
I mean, he got a 16. It's not too bad. 16 and 13. Yeah.
I got a 13.
Yeah. So, he notices a little bit before you do that you guys have been walking down the same road for 5 minutes. And kind of just squints in that very familiar to you squint of, this is some Toon bullshittery, and I don't know if I stand for it.
And Lethy will just blink and look at the road, and look at the sky, and look at the trees, and just squint. The town might be messing with us. I've heard that they can be a bit mischievous. So that explains that.
Fine. Okay. This might as well be happening. Mix town? Mix Halloween town? I don't know if that's your preferred term of address. Could you please guide us to some kind of cafe? Maybe? Looks at you like...
my best friend's family runs a cafe here.
What did you say, sir?
My best friend's family runs a cafe here.
Oh, what's it called?
The Ghost Host Cafe, I think.
Mixed
if I'm remembering that right.
A mixed town. If you could take us there, I would appreciate it. And then, very quietly, you hear, I feel like a fucking idiot talking to thin air. Okay.
You're fine. If it makes you feel any better, Lynn does it all the time and no one thinks she's an idiot. Well, no one thinks she's an idiot for that.
Ordinarily, that wouldn't be the most comforting phrase, but you know what? I'll take what I can get.
And she does just kind of giggle, and the big eye spots on her wings do kind of just turn up a bit at the bottom edge in a way that makes it look like they're smiling.
He smiles back, gently squeezes your hand again. I'm gonna have it roll fucking persuasion. You have proficiency in 6 skills. Yeah, 6 skills, and none of them are persuasion. What the fuck, Raph? Doesn't matter, that was natural 20.
Incredible. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs barking in the background. Wesley is barking at the mailman again. God damn it, Wesley.
That poor mailman. Yeah.
He's just trying to deliver mail, Wesley, please.
Let him deliver his mail. Let him do his rounds. Yeah. With a fucking 23 persuasion check, Kara decides they've gotten enough amusement out of making this man feel like a fool, and does indeed take the pair to Ghosthouse Cafe. Looks like Phasmus isn't in today. Shame, but
yeah, that's fair. Lethe does kind of wave at whoever's behind the counter still, because I imagine she's in here enough to know a few people who work here.
Yeah, this is Phasmus's older sibling. So yeah.
And she just kind of waves and says hello.
Get a wave back. I'm gonna roll. The fuck am I gonna roll? Cause Raph, I don't think Raph's ever been in here before. I feel like Lethe's probably brought him stuff from this cafe before, but I don't think he's actually been in the building. I'm gonna make this. I'm not gonna make it con. I'm not that mean to him. I'll make it wisdom. Natural 19, man's just not fazed by anything, apparently.
Oh, goodness.
He just hesitates in the doorway as he feels himself become a ghost, and then kind of is like, you know when things happen, you're just like, this might as well be something that's occurring in this moment. Go ahead inside.
This might as well be a moment that happens.
Yeah.
There sure do be events that are occurring.
Today's already so goddamn weird.
And Lethe does just kind of blink and say, "Oh, right, I forgot to warn you about that, turning into a ghost in here is a thing. Hi!"
You know, in hindsight, I really should have guessed from, like, the name of the cafe and the kinds of foods and stuff that you brought from here. I'm actually a little bit miffed that I didn't put it together. Okay.
In your defense, it is a very, And she does kind of do the sort of whoosh gesture with her hands that she uses when she's trying to describe, surprise magical bullshit.
Fair enough. He just like, yeah, okay. Rolls with it.
I'm guessing they place an order and go take seats?
Yeah. Or go take seats. There's menus at the table. And a server comes up to take your order after a few minutes.
And this time Lethe doesn't have to panic when making her order. Hey!
Whoa.
Because she actually knows what's here.
Wow.
There will be no accidental ordering of spiced sea bass. That being said, I have no idea what either of them do order.
I mean, Raph probably orders, like, a toasty and a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe, like, a biscuit or two.
Yeah. Honestly, Lethy probably would just order, like, a sandwich, and if this place does mint julep, then mint julep.
Yeah, it probably does mint julep. The order gets taken, and menus with it, and peace falls again, as Raph kind of absently taps his fingers on the table and goes, "Do you have that often?"
Which?
The difficulty telling dreams from reality.
I didn't before. I'm so sorry if you can hear the dogs in the background. God damn it.
It's so good.
They are not actually barking at the mailmen. They are barking at the people who come to clean up the backyard. God damn it. But she kind of does blink at that and say, well, I didn't before. It's sort of, well, I mean, this is the first time I've woken up outside of the archive. I think that's where I was. Yes. So it's the first time I've woken up outside the archive. It's the first time I've had to contend with that.
Do you think it'll be a problem in the future?
You can roll insight. I know your insight is stupid high, but you can roll anyway.
Cool. And he has a thing for this, I think. Yeah, he does have a thing for this. D4. I should have been adding D4 to survival as well. Shit. It's perception and survival, not insight. Is this to sense a lie, or is this just a general insight check?
Just an insight check. Lethy doesn't try to lie to Raph. I think she tried that like maybe once or twice early on and then figured out, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah, it just does not end well. Yeah, so 28.
That is the thing that gets you the disappointed dad stare. But yeah, with the 28, God, you and your characters and their stupid high insight modifiers.
Okay! 3, 4, 5 characters in the wide variety that I have. It's not that many.
Sure, Jan.
Listen. It's not my fault all my fucking friends keep making their other characters lying liars who lie. Jeez.
Make their characters what?
Lying liars who lie.
I do not play a lying liar who lies, so I am an outlier and should not be counted.
That's true. But this particular character, kind of has reason to have that stupid high modifier.
Yeah, true. Lawyer.
So yeah, 28. What does he get with that?
With a 28, there is a million words in the hesitance to answer that question. Because she doesn't know if it'll be a problem in the future. She's kind of terrified of what would happen if it is. Because some of the places she goes in her dreams are not very nice, and... God, if she can't tell reality apart from dreams, how the fuck is she supposed to do anything, much less do her fucking job? Oh god. And ultimately, what her answer to that question winds up being is, I hope not, but I get the feeling my hopes are going to be dashed.
Ay, Misha. He does take your hand again, gently rubbing a calloused thumb over your knuckles. Alright. If it does become an issue, what can I do to help?
I don't know. Last night, like I said, I just got up and left because I thought I was dreaming and actions didn't have consequences. I almost let myself fall out of a second-story window. Or opening, doorway. What the fuck do you call the opening to a hayloft? I almost fell out of that. If Mr. Gregory hadn't been there to catch me, that would have been bad. I mean, I've fallen out of that window before and been fine, but I don't know. It took information that I hadn't been aware of before being given to me in a way that I couldn't deny. I could tell that Mr. Gregory wasn't lying, and that was the only way I could tell that I was awake, was because I'd never met this person before, and they were appearing in my dreams and telling me and if they were appearing in a dream and telling me everything I knew was a lie, then, well, that would be bad. That would be unusual, and he told me I was awake, and I could tell he wasn't lying, and I don't know how I would fix that without that kind of input. I mean, at the very least now I know I'm out, but if I dream of that place again, who's to say I won't think that... And she does just kind of sink and put her forehead against the table, just, mess.
Raph gets up, walks around the booth, slips down on your side, and wraps a hand around you. Wraps an arm around you.
I'm sorry, you cut out because of Discord being stupid. Can you repeat that?
Raph gets up, walks around the booth, sits down next to Lethe, and wraps an arm around her.
Yeah, she does kind of just bury her face in his shoulder, just... everything happens all of the time.
Okay. Alright. What kinds... You said being presented with the information that you couldn't deny helped snap you out of it. What do you mean by that?
He told me something that I didn't want to believe, that Matthias wasn't my friend, that they'd been poisoning me, that they kidnapped me, and I didn't want to believe it, but he wasn't lying, and the first time I'd heard his voice added up a little too well with what he was saying. Information like that, something I wouldn't come to the conclusion of on my own, but that would only work in that kind of circumstance where it was... I mean, there's only so much you can tell someone in that regard to snap them out of it. Especially because, you know, you can't just say random trivia, you know?
Mm.
Just, yes. Did you know that dolphins play with pufferfish to get high the way humans do drugs? No, I didn't. That's Interesting. Where did I learn that? I don't know. I don't know.
Would it help having some kind of touchstone? A reference you can check to see if you're awake or not.
Probably. I mean, I've set up similar things in the places I go in my sleep, that I have different, I guess, signals, key signs, triggers that tell me where I am. So touchstones probably would work. I'd have to set up something like that here.
Okay. How would you do that?
She kinda thinks for a minute and fidgets with her fingers and, well, honestly, you being here, process of elimination's out a few different places. No offense. You're dead in a lot of places I dream of. That was unsettling. It's really good to have you back.
It's good to have you back as well. Okay, so my presence helps. Anything else?
Speaking normal common helps as well. That eliminates the Colosseum. Let's see. She kind of, with her free hand that's not holding Raph's, she does kind of reach up and run her fingers under her eyes a little bit and hums a bit and says, okay, no feathers there. That means... Okay, no feathers means not magpie. And also I'm my age and not Lynn's age, so... Right, that would be... Honestly, process of elimination seems to be what works best. What would be the one thing that this universe has that the others don't? And I apologize to Raph because some of the shit she's saying does not make sense.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna make a roll. Great. What's your insight again?
My insight?
Yep.
+7?
Okay, yeah, no, you cannot beat that deception check.
I can't.
He is, doing his damnedest to keep his reaction entirely internal so as to avoid breaking your flow. He is very concerned. And he is actually a little bit scared. Because you have been hurt very badly, and he doesn't know how to help.
And she kind of hums, and then she actually does look down at her hands, and it's funny, Raph, the entire time you've known Lethe, I don't think you've ever seen her without her gloves on. Because she does have a pair of fingerless gloves that she wears all the time. Like maybe once or twice she's taken them off when she's stayed over at the apartment, but she usually puts them on right after just because they're a key design element. It's not really anything major, it's just that's part of her design. And she doesn't have them on right now. In fact, she doesn't have a lot of her main elements of her design right now. You know, she's only about a step off from straight up being in her pajamas.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, whatever you said just cut off. I saw your circle light up, but I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I just said, yeah.
Yeah, she's only about a step off from being straight up in her pajamas. But that means that when she kind of turns her hand over, Raph can actually see a certain marking on the palm of her hand, which basically it's a rewind symbol. And she does kind of hum at that and say, I don't think I have. These are different. They used to be different every day, but these are different in each one of the dreams. I've never. They're never like this in any of the others. So that's one key sign. And then she kind of takes a breath and says, stars. If it's nighttime, I can go outside and look at the stars. That sounds like a good start, probably. And she does kind of just look up at you like, am I doing this right? Help!
He does give you a reassuring smile. Gently squeezes your shoulder. It's definitely a good start. He pauses for a moment, seems to be thinking something over. And then reaches into his pocket and pulls out a ring on a small chain. That he takes off the chain. Because chain just connects it to his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fairly plain band, plain silver band, with an inscription on the inside that you can't read while it's in his hands, but he holds it out for you to take. And when you take it, and your echo reading bullshittery kicks in,
yeah.
It just says Chihiro. In Corey.
Hey, Raph, roll insight.
That's 6 or 9. That's a 9. 21.
Yeah. God, you can roll in single digits and still get above a 20. You fucking hell!
I mean,
Jesus Christ!
To be fair, like, that's the only time he can roll in single digits and get above a 20.
Cheese and rice, Raph! Yeah, with a fucking 21, you can tell, like, there is familiarity there, but, you know, that does make sense in the sense that you've told her about Chihiro before. But there's also a different kind of familiarity, which kind of gets clarified when she kind of turns the ring over in her hands and says quietly, she came to talk to me, you know.
What?
In the archive. Or, no, not the archive. In the room in the East Wing, she came to talk to me. I thought I was dying, but she said I wasn't. She came to visit me, and we talked a bit. She's very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. um, keep that. Keep it on you. Wear it or put it on a chain. But if you have it, you know you're awake.
Oh, That would actually work very well. And she kind of does smile at you and kind of she wraps one of her wings around Raph and just squeeze.
He does smile and gently squeeze your shoulder.
And she will think for a minute, then reach behind her neck and unfasten that black ribbon around her neck. And slip the ring onto that. Before putting the ribbon back.
That does make him smile wider.
And then she does kind of pause for a minute, and she looks up at him and is just, I know you are worried about me, but are you okay, really?
He takes a deep breath, kind of mulls things over. You being gone scared me a great deal. But you're back now, and you're on the road to recovery. And
I'm sorry for scaring you.
it's not your fault.
I know that, but I can still be sorry because I don't want you to ever have to be in pain.
You're a very kind soul.
I try to be. And she does kind of just... She's basically just leaned up against him. Like, you know how cats or dogs, when they just want to be next to you, will just put their entire weight on you?
Mm-hmm.
She's doing that. You have slightly melted bird.
He just shifts position a little bit to better support her.
And she just... I was really worried that I wasn't going to get to see you again.
I was scared about that too. But
Well,
you go first.
I'm glad we were both wrong.
Yeah. And we can put it behind us a bit now. We're back together, and we're both on the mend. And we can stand and face tomorrow with our brightest smiles.
And she does smile at that.
It's probably at this point that their orders are brought over. Raph thanks the server with a smile. And slides your plates.
Lethy does as well.
Yeah, slides your plates over to you. Grabs his own.
And yeah, I've only used one spell slot today, so oh wait, no, I can just use this one at will. I'm dumb. Yeah, so she does kind of similarly to what she did in yesterday's FPS with the cup of tea that she was given by Asclepius. She kind of holds a hand out, and a bit of glowing gold dust pools in her hand that she kind of blows out over the table, basically. And it doesn't stick to anything and doesn't light up on anything, so she just kind of nods and takes a sip of her drink.
You get a curious sound from Raph.
I used to have magic that let me sense when magic was in a room. But I changed it. I changed it because poison seems to be a very serious issue in our family.
Oh my.
So now I can check to see if it's there.
For a brief moment, there is a profoundly sad look on his face. And then he just kind of smiles a little bit. Understandable precaution. Though I do wish it wasn't necessary.
You and me both. I don't think it would ever be necessary here, but then again, I didn't think I would have to worry about either of us getting poisoned while we were on vacation, and yeah, that was terrifying.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. It was her fault.
True.
May she fucking rot in whatever afterlife awaits her.
Well, I'm not gonna say I disagree with that particular sentiment. And you're right, it wasn't my fault. But I can still be sorry that you were hurt.
And she nods at that because, yeah, she gets that sentiment. She basically said it a couple minutes ago. I wish you could have seen that trial. I never did get to tell you exactly how it went down.
We've got time now.
Well, it was certainly interesting. And I can't actually say how it went down because we haven't finished Turnabout Vengeance yet, but Lethe will kind of, in a combination of Common and Echo, and probably a bit of Spanish because she's been learning from Raph, and she flits from language to language like, like it's nothing. She just kind of tells what happens. There is part of it that she seems a little hesitant on, specifically telling how she threatened Darling to come to court or I will fucking end you.
I feel like he probably wheedles it out of her. And then kind of gives her a look like, I can see why you did it. I recommend against doing it in the future. But if you're going to, and I'm sure you already did, but if you're going to, make sure there are no witnesses of any kind.
Oh, I made sure. I made sure. I don't know where that came from. I was very angry. I should not have done that. It worked, but I should not have done that.
Oh no, you absolutely shouldn't have. And if she said it in court, you could have gone into a lot of trouble.
I could have. But she didn't. Because she was a little busy getting her lies absolutely torn to shreds, which was great. But yeah, I shouldn't have done that. That felt strange. And then she will go on and describe the rest of the case. And at the end, she will kind of frown and say, it doesn't feel like... It felt like you should have been there. It wasn't my case. It was yours and Miss Chihiro's. It wasn't... It wasn't my story to end, but someone had to put an end to her.
Not all stories have the most satisfying resolutions. But honestly, I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah, they have her keyed up for execution within... Wow, she's actually probably dead by now.
Probably. And we can rest a little easier.
Mm,
Oh, well.
which is
Oh.
good.
You know what? No.
Knock on wood.
I'm just gonna eat my sandwich and drink my coffee. I'm not gonna jinx myself. I do not wish to have third time's the charm.
And Lethy will just jokingly knock on the table.
Yeah, he's gonna do it too. And then throw a pinch of salt over his shoulder for good luck.
And Lethy does kind of laugh at that and takes another sip of her mint julep. But, yeah, that was how that case went. And then after that, well, first they told me you wouldn't survive the night, and that was terrifying. But then you did, so good on you for that. Thank you for not dying, I greatly appreciate it.
Nah. No way she'd take me out. Too fucking stubborn.
I'm glad for that. But, yeah, after that, I met the prosecutor in the restaurant that where everything happened. They were surprisingly cordial for how much of a fight they put up in court. Which is good, because that's better than the people we usually go up against, because usually they do not take losing well.
Not all prosecutors are sore losers. Although, admittedly, those who aren't are the exception to the rule, usually.
Mm-hmm.
Gods know Chihiro and I were the only ones within 500 miles, give or take, who could take a loss without screaming like a little baby.
Well, there was no baby screaming from this one, thankfully. But let's see, after that I talked with them the next morning. Went to see you, you were alive, that was good. I don't know if you remember. I tried to talk to you with Echo while you were asleep. I don't know if you remember that, but you did respond a little bit. That was comforting.
Does he remember? It's a 10?
Oh dear.
You can see he's thinking hard about it. There's something there, but it's hazy.
Makes sense. Like I said, you were asleep.
True enough.
And then after that, I apparently went and got myself kidnapped. So, that catches us up to where we are now.
I mean, no one really gets themselves kidnapped. It kind of happens to them.
Dad, I literally walked into it.
Yeah, that's not getting yourself kidnapped. That's you walking into a kidnapping. You didn't organize it. You didn't perform the crime. Ergo, not at fault.
She does kind of do the, like, and teeter her hand back and forth.
Except that I'm right.
But are you?
I am.
That is a compelling argument.
I will argue these semantics with you all day. Do not test me.
And unfortunately, you have much more experience arguing to win than I do.
My record for the longest filibuster is, I think, 33 and a half hours? Yeah. I couldn't speak for a week afterward.
How the fuck?
This is what happens when you're fresh out of law school. All of your common sense just goes out the window.
Why did you even have to go that long?
Oh, I didn't. I did it on a dare.
Hey!
My pride was on the line. And also I got 50 gold out of it, so...
Yeah, no, Lethe is just dying laughing.
He is grinning, fucking mission accomplished.
She is just dying laughing. Gods. And you have no right to talk about some of the bullshit that Toons get up to when you do stuff like that.
I mean, to be fair, Toon bullshit happens on the regular. I was very young, and I was very fresh out of law school. And when you're fresh out of law school as a real kind, your common sense is non-existent for a solid 2 years.
What, does it just drain out your fucking ears?
Yeah, because it gets replaced by all the goddamn law you have to study.
The what?
All the goddamn law you gotta study. In that 2-year period, I could recite to you the entire legislation for tort law. I could not tell you whether it would be a good idea to get a venti cup from Starbucks and fill it to the top with espresso shots and 7-hour energy.
Oh god, RJ, I'm sorry, Discord is making you cut out. What was that?
Discord. Now let me speak. When I could recite to you the entire legislation for tort law, but I could not tell you if it would be a good idea to get a venti cup from Starbucks, fill it to the top with espresso and shots of 7-hour energy. And then drink it.
How are you alive?
I didn't do that. That was Chihiro.
How did she survive that? That should have given her a heart attack.
You know what? I couldn't tell you.
Oh, my parents are so fucking weird. She just... Lethe does just straight up have her head on the table at this point. Just... Gods.
Okay, yeah. He pats you on the shoulder. And then, because he rolled a fucking 2, you can very clearly see the attempt at stealing your sandwich.
And she will just, like, gently...
Pulls his hand back, pouts a little bit.
And she will just, like, sit up a bit, tear the sandwich in half and offer him the other half.
He'll whip back. He does have his own toasty, although he's mostly eaten it. That was mostly in jest. But he is touched, but we'll say no.
You're lost. The sandwiches here are delicious.
I know, I've had one. I've had quite a few. You brought me quite a lot.
True.
Do you think this place does delivery? More specifically, delivery to Framertown?
Fraymore Town might be a bit far away.
I mean, not if they do the transition travel that you do.
I am honestly not sure how many people here can do that.
You know what? Fair
I've been trying to teach Lynn. And I showed Mr. Craigery, but I don't know... I don't know if he's going to be able to do that one without help.
Oh?
He looked like he was about to vomit when we stepped out in front of my barn.
Oof.
It was a little funny. It probably would have been more funny if I had, like, half an ounce of sense as to what was going on around me.
Well, hey, maybe that was why.
What do you mean?
Rough ride. If you take him
Pardon?
now. He said, rough ride. If you take him now,
Oh,
maybe it'll be
true.
smoother.
True. It didn't feel any different from usual to me, but then, like I said, I was out of it as hell. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to try and teach Phasmas. Or maybe they can already transition walk. I'll have to ask him.
Something to find out.
She kind of just smiles and does, like, if they're sitting next to a window, she will look out the window a bit and just says, I do like it here.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. It's where I first showed up, you know? And she does kind of, like, point out the window, kind of... I doubt you can see the college from the cafe, but kind of in the general direction of where it usually is, Kara willing.
Yeah, you can probably see some of the spires. Probably can't see the whole building.
Mm-hmm. And she kind of points and says, you see those spires? I manifested in the university those are connected to. Over a murder scene.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. First person I ever met was a magically decayed corpse.
Oh, yikes.
Yep. And then I got arrested for the murder. I think I told you about that when we first met.
Yeah, you did. Jeez.
Yeah. That's how I met Lynn. She was on the case and helped me get unarrested. I feel like there should be a better term for that.
Released?
Is unarrested the term?
Released.
That, yes.
Or exonerated, depending on whether or not you're talking about the crime or just being arrested.
Probably exonerated in this case because I was brought in as suspect and probably would have been accused of the murder with no one else to accuse in the room. Because the person who did it was the prosecutor in the case. Does that keep happening?
Your fault. Your particular brand of toony bullshit.
My particular brand of toony bullshit is fucking murderers trying to go into the law profession.
No. Your particular brand of toony bullshit is attracting all of the murderers in the law profession.
Lucky me!
I mean, hey, it gets him behind bars. You're a bloody good lawyer.
True. True. I don't think I've ever actually won a case the way we're supposed to, because we keep winning the case not by proving the person innocent, but by finding who actually did it.
Yeah, it's like we're playing Cluedo. It's really weird.
We keep playing murder mystery. It's great.
Just once. Just once. I want to have a case where it's like grand larceny or something. Or like property dispute. Something nice and relaxed.
Something absolutely normal.
Yeah.
Gods.
I say
You just
that.
know that
You
just know that halfway through that case, there'd just be an alert that just a body has been discovered.
Oh god, don't jinx us. Either that, or it'll be perfectly normal and perfectly bloody boring, and I'm gonna be wishing for some crazy zany murder case.
It'll give you a new appreciation for working with me.
I mean, I always appreciate working with you. Someone else do paperwork.
Aww. Hey! Her feathers do ruffle up at that in just the very cartoonish, indignant bird.
He gives her a playful nudge with his shoulder.
Yeah, that just sends her giggling again. Hopefully I'll be able to get back on my feet to get back to doing my job soon. I'll admit, I think I've had enough of staying in bed for one lifetime. Probably for 2 lifetimes.
Fair enough. Well, once you're a little bit more fit to travel, we'll start getting back to the office. I'm sure the paperwork's piled up in our absence.
Oh goodness, no kidding. And she kinda winces and just says, I apologize for your hands because I still, after absorbing the texts of a massive fucking library, do not have any fucking clue how to write common.
I keep saying I'm gonna teach you, and then I keep forgetting not to teach you. We're getting that squared away when we get back to the office, because I cannot write all that paperwork on my own.
And she does kind of smile and say, actually, I have figured out a writing system of my own for my language. And she does kind of, well, first I'm going to roll Hammerspace.
Dude.
Yeah, one off from a fumble. She snaps her fingers and a notebook falls into her hand and she pops it open. And inside is a strange sort of text that looks like connected dots and wavy lines. I figured out how to format properly so it doesn't look like I'm writing in baby scribbles.
Ooh. Mind walking me through?
Sure. Okay, so, and she will kind of just lean over and show him the whole thing of, so, you know, empty circle is a concept, colored in circle is a name, or basically a subject.
Mm-hmm.
Noun, colored in circles are nouns.
Yeah.
And then the lines that connect them show the different relations between those concepts. And she will kind of guide him through reading some of the different sentences she's written.
He will follow along with rapt attention.
Yeah, honestly, roll intelligence to see how well you figure that out. Or wisdom, honestly, because it is telepathic bullshit.
I'm gonna go with intelligence because it's the same modifier either fucking way. So fucking 21.
Yeah, so you actually do get the gist of it. You can now read Echo. Congratulations.
Yay!
1 second, I have to sneeze.
Isn't it?
Okay, that hurt. Ow.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You
I
go
just had to sneeze.
Oof.
But do we have anything we want to go over left in this FPS?
I don't have anything, so unless you have anything.
Yeah, I think a good place to leave it would just be on these two talking and joking around and Lethy showing Raph some of the stuff she's written in her notebook.
Hell yeah. Fluff.
Fluff! We are allowed to have nice things, Your Honor!
We have, modes other than sadness.
We have settings other than just sad, Your Honor.
Hell yeah.
This was a delight. Thank you so much for indulging me.
This is really fun.
Thank you everybody for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Goodbye, listeners!
Bye.